All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Let me know that you can see and hear me. No, I'm muted. There we go. All right. Let me know that you can see and hear me. Okay. I found you. Hi, everybody. It's good to be here after our little holiday week last week. Let me just say hello to everybody real quick. Quick thumbs up from anybody if you can hear me see and hear me. Okay. I think we're all good. All right. So who all do we have here? Sherry, good to see you. Kimberly, good to see you as well. Sharon, awesome to have you here also. And Kim, fantastic. All right. Yay. Thanks. Thank you for letting me know that we're good to go. And let's see, who else do I have here? So those are like a couple of my regulars here. And then we have Jackie back from Japan. Awesome. I've been thinking about you. You've been on my mind. Want to know why you didn't take your why she didn't get to go on the adventure with you. Seriously, my Gypsy. I get that sense all the time that Gypsy wants to know why I don't take her with me, but we'll come back to some of those messages. Okay, Jackie. Oh, Caroline. It's so good to see you here. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to be doing your reading tonight. I'm so glad that you were joining me at 1:00 in the morning. More power to you, girl. That is awesome that you're not going to watch us on the replay, that you're jumping on for live. And that is our reading for Strawberry. And Mimi, hello. It's nice to see you. I don't want to miss anybody. I love saying hello to everybody. Logan and Cactus Smithy. That's somebody new. I don't recognize the name. Let's see who else I have here. Okay, so I think that's it, everybody. All right, so it's good to see you guys, and I will continue to say hello. As always, I watch the comments only for a little bit in the beginning, then I try to stick to my little script, if you want to call it that, because things continue to come through as we talk. But tonight we're going to be talking more about communicating with our animal companions on the other side. There's a whole lot. We could talk about this forever, and I want to talk about some of the reasons why this topic keeps coming up. And the response that I got to the request for a communication class for learning how to connect with and communicate with our animals on here and on the other side, for those of us who have pets in our home, was huge. So I will be doing that. It'll probably be separate from the live streams, but I will do a separate class just for that, because I know what it feels like. I remember when I was first beginning to learn and how frustrating it was, and I stopped. It was so frustrating. I stopped, and this was gosh, it's got to be a dozen years ago. I got so frustrated trying so hard. And then when I finally let go of the need to do it, that's when all the communication started to happen. But we'll get to that too. Jen, how you doing? Good to see you. JD, brand new. All right, welcome. And I'm looking at Cactus Smithy again. I love these names. I love our handles. So Cactus Smithy, I think I saw your comment back up there a little bit that said your dog I think it was your dog. I can't scroll back up at the moment. Is going through some health issues. So you can always reach out. My email for this is read4mypet with the number 4, read4mypet@gmail.com. Let's see who else we have. I'm feeling real excited. I'm trying to get myself calmed back down again, because we didn't have the video last week, and it feels like it's been, I don't think I'm going to do that again, even if it's a holiday. I don't think I'm going to take a day off. Who else do we have? Becky. Okay, Becky, so that's how you get a reading for your pet. And I am most likely going to try to do more than one of these a week. I find that when I do these readings, I need to do one pet at a time. There was, in fact, I might go back and do another reading for Toby, because when I try to do a reading for more than one pet at a time, it's almost like having too much conversation, and I can't separate the two. And I'm kind of going to try to explain that a little bit for you guys too, especially for those of you who are new to the channel, and how this all came about, because it's not anything formal. It just began to happen for me. And then I felt the need to share. And I've been practicing this for about 18 months. I've been doing these little mini readings, and then I've started to do private readings also. And it's things are just keep coming through clearer and clearer every time I do this. So if you would like a reading for your animal companion, it is send me an email with their picture and some questions that you might want to ask at readformypet@gmail.com. I am in February, so there's a little bit of a, I want to call it a backlog, but not necessarily, because we also have discovered that after an animal crosses, it sometimes helps us if we have a few weeks to settle in and get used to those emotions and kind of let some of the more intense emotions settle down, and it makes it a little bit easier to connect. But I still don't want to be, we're June now. And so the more this goes on and the more people are requesting readings, I'm going to have to do something a little bit different. So we may be doing another video that might not be live, but I'll just be doing readings for animal companions then. Because I want to be able for everybody who wants to hear from their animal companion to receive a message, and then also to be able to share with you how you can get these messages. I am not, I don't have any magical gift. It's not like I'm something, I don't have some special magic that I use. We all have this ability. We all have it. It's a question of learning how to tap into it and learning to trust and set aside our doubt and believe that our animal companions want to get through to us. And that's essentially what the message is going to be about tonight. I have some ideas about why they really want to connect with us. They want to connect with us, not just as much as we want to connect with them, more than we want to connect with them, because there's so much they want to share with us, so much that they can share with us. I'm just going to go back. Hi, Carolyn. How are you? I'm going to go back to the comments here for a quick second. Miss Nunya, good to see you here. And Jess, awesome. And still in too much grief to connect, right? So JD, that is exactly right. Jody, how are you? That's exactly right. Which is why I suspect that divine timing, that certain things pop up at certain times and there's a certain length of time between, because I agree, sometimes we're too raw or too tender to even hear the messages, let alone to make the connection on our own. So I completely agree. And let's see who else we have down. Do other pets who aren't being officially contacted on the live stream pop in? So good. One of our animal companions from the folks in the chat pop in. Spirit Healing, nice to see you. It is very, very possible. So it's not an exact science. It's not a science at all. There doesn't seem to be a formula. And when I first started to do this, so let me back up just a little bit for those of you who are new to all of this. Some of you have been hanging out here since the very beginning when I started doing this. When I first started doing this, it was when my Lucy crossed. So, and I had a sense from some other animal companions that I worked with. I'm a Reiki master, an animal Reiki master, and I would help animals at the end of life. So people would reach out to me and say, would you please share? Duncan is probably one of the first ones that I can remember. Duncan is a beautiful dog in France. And Duncan's human reached out to say, would you please connect with Duncan? Let him know that it's okay to cross. Duncan was experiencing some really age-related issues and illnesses, and his human wanted me to just share with him beautiful healing energy, to use the healing energy of Reiki however he chose. And she had hoped that he would know that he was okay to go, that it was okay for him to transition. That was one of the first animals that I got a sense of, that I was still feeling their presence after he crossed. Another one was Bruno. I could still feel Bruno's presence even after Bruno crossed. And then little things would happen. When my mother-in-law's dog crossed, so Nana, I don't know if Nana's on here or not. Nana, if you're here, say hello. When Kitty crossed, it's almost like I knew it. And Kitty immediately, this was before I started doing these readings, immediately gave me a sense that, so Kitty was laying on the back of a sofa, and also age-related, natural crossing, fell off the back of the sofa. And I got Kitty essentially told me that he crossed instantly, that before his little furry body even hit the floor, that he was already at the Rainbow Bridge. He had crossed like that. And so I kept these things to myself, or I would only talk to like immediate family members. I did not come out and publicly share this stuff. It just started to happen. And then when Lucy crossed in 2020, when Lucy she had an assisted crossing. And when she crossed, she took one big breath. I've told this story before, but she took one big, beautiful breath. And when she exhaled that breath, I felt her not just pass through me, I felt her pass into me. That's the only way I can explain it. I felt her pass into me. And I still feel that she is part of me now, not just on another plane of existence, not just in her higher self. I feel like she entered my physical being, so much so that I had her tattooed on my arm. And that's when the doors really opened. And I started to say, all right, so people are in, and through my Reiki practice, I understood the level of grief that people were experiencing at the end of their animal companion's life. And I thought, there's something I can do about that. There's something I can do about it. And who am I to say no? Who am I to say no to this? And so I started. And when the whole point of this gets to that one question. When I first started, it was like the movie Ghost. If you've seen that with Whoopi Goldberg, and she's sitting at her little seance table, and there's 100 ghosts all around her, and she can't get them to go away, and she doesn't know they're all talking at once, and they all want to, and that's how it felt. I couldn't separate any of the animals who were connecting with me. It was like talking to 10 animals all at one time, and I would write down things, but I didn't understand which animals were trying to say what. And so I learned to ask. I would ask one animal at a time. And sometimes most times that happens now. It's almost like I've requested some boundaries, and they're honoring those boundaries and helping me. They're helping me by doing this. I let them know that we can, if I can make this very clear, one animal companion at a time, it's much easier for me to share that information, and we can help more animals and more people. But sometimes, yes, sometimes there are, let's see, how can I put this? Sometimes there are animals that butt right to the front of the line. Like I can't not do a reading for a particular animal because they're connecting very loudly, or something will happen like Beardy. And I haven't seen Beardy's mom on here in a little while, where I was riding on a train, on a commuter train, and I was kind of like dozing off. It was like one of those things where the train, the motion of the train kind of gets you drowsy. And all of a sudden I knew that this bearded dragon was with me. And I immediately just I do automatic writing, all this. I write everything down. It's the way that things come through to me. And so I just wrote down all the feelings I was getting during this drowsy state, which turned out to be, and so, I mean, it was one of the very first animal companions where the information was so relevant and so accurate that we couldn't dismiss it, that we couldn't say it was just a coincidence, or, oh, all cats act like that. So that was a really long answer to a short question, but I felt like it was good to give some background, especially since we have a lot of new people on here tonight. And so there's a very good chance that other animals could come through. And I've tried to do live readings before where I don't do anything in advance, but I'm not comfortable. I'm not yet 100% comfortable with that. So just being transparent. I don't hide anything. I don't want to make anything up. So I'm just, I sit down for about maybe an hour before I start the live stream, and I do a meditation. And sometimes I put on my headphones. Sometimes I listen to a little bit of music, but mostly I go into this really quiet space, and I ask the animal companion to come to me and share messages with me. And then I write them all down and share them with you. And then even as we're talking, though, some things sometimes still come through from the animal companion. So we'll see. It could happen. Sherry says, oh, 0% correct. That's okay. I knew Sherry, 90% correct. Yeah. And that's the other thing. When I'm sharing the information that's coming from our animal companions, and there are some things that maybe don't make sense to the person, that's when I wonder if it's not perhaps another animal who's coming through and I'm picking up on that, because that has happened too. In the chat, I've seen people say, wait, 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 that was my Toby, or that was my Milo. Milo is the one. That was my Milo. And so there's a chance that there's some other animals coming in, or I call them Easter eggs, where it's just a little piece of information that doesn't make sense at the time that I deliver it, but a couple of weeks from now, the light bulb will go off, and someone will go, "Oh my gosh!" And I usually get an email that says, "You're not going to believe this," but I always believe it. But I happen to see X, Y, or Z, as you mentioned in your reading. So that's kind of where we go with this. I do want to. I have a couple little housekeeping items I want to go over with everybody. I'm just going to look at sometimes I play really soft Reiki meditation music. Yeah, it's what I love. I love that. My noise canceling headphones right here. That's what I use. Yeah. And you know what? I totally understand when you guys are saying that sometimes your head's all over the place, and fall asleep while meditating. I've done it 100 times. I was not a meditator. Again, for those of you who are new to the channel, I was a type A corporate HR control freak. Cat Bert, the evil HR director. I was not ever evil though. But I was a total corporate control freak. Everything had to be the way that I said it was, from A to Z. I was always everything. I did everything. I was always the good girl. I always had to do everything right, and everybody had to do everything right with me. So when I first started to meditate, when this was a dozen years ago, when I decided to practice Reiki, which is a whole different story, and how a corporate executive, could start to practice Reiki. But I keep this little sticker. I just want to show this to Caroline, not Caroline in the UK. I don't know why this popped up as something for strawberry, but it did. And also this pretty little crystal right here, to this little burnt orange, reddish brown shaped crystal. So I put them here to remind me, and I just want to keep playing with them right now. Like I get a sense of a crystal, or even of strawberry batting them. But okay. Couple little housekeeping items. I already mentioned the communication class. I created a little community post asking if anybody was interested in learning communication for animals. And this would be a really straightforward course. I would teach you the way that I learned, and help you do some things that will get you there, that will get you to practice, get you to communicate with animals. It does take practice. It takes practice. And I think I started to say, when I first started to meditate, I sucked. Like I had a family member who was going through some other family things. And I would lay in bed trying to meditate, and I would just close my eyes. I would go to the gym, into the sauna. Anyway, I would try anywhere to meditate, and I could never get my mind to shut up. That little voice in the back that's always going. You guys, right now, I'm sure there's something going on behind you. Oh my gosh, did I feed the dog? I forgot to do this thing at work. That stuff never left my mind. It took practice. I really had to practice how to meditate, and eventually I got there. That my mind is still a runaway train sometimes, but when it comes to the animals, it's like they get my direct attention now. Everything else can disappear. I don't care about anything else when I love to connect, when I try to connect with animals, when I connect with animals. All right. So the communication class, I'll post all the details about that. I haven't picked a date or a time or how many weeks it's going to be. I've done them before in a Facebook group, and I've done it like 4 and 6 weeks. I don't want to drag it out for too long, so I'll figure out something that's convenient for everybody. And it won't be live, so that you'll be able to join at any time. But I'm trying to build in activities so that you can communicate back to me successes, roadblocks, that kind of thing. If you want to become a channel member, you guys, it really does help support me being able to create content on here, and me being able to do readings, especially for people. I want to be able to help people who are not in a financial place, but who are suffering from grief. And I want to be able to help everybody. So Your contributions, which it's $2.99 a month, or you can be $4.99 a month, one or the other, really, really help to support the channel. And if you do that, one of the new things that I'm trying little by little, I'm building it up, is the SoulPet Showcase. And the SoulPet Showcase is where your animal companion can be featured. I'll do one a week, and we'll tell fun stories. And Logan is coming up. Logan. Right. Now I have a Logan watching, but that's not it. I have a pet named Logan, who's going to be the very first one that that gets featured this week. So if you join the channel as a member, that's one of the little perks you get, along with occasional Zoom calls. I'm going to try to do those regularly for us to get together, plus invitations if you like to join my Friday morning class. So it's not even a class. Every Friday morning, if you're interested in any of the psychic stuff. So we go down the spiritual rabbit hole, and we talk about everything from aliens to angels to animals we talk about it all. Nothing is off limits. We're just exploring and trying to understand our universe. And that's what that is all about. And let's see, what else do members get? We had just on Saturday, there are 2 members of this group who are also in the Friday morning group that helped me at a animal sanctuary. So the woman who runs the animal sanctuary reached out to me to say that it was time to shear the alpaca. And it's a very stressful event for them. I'm going to post some pictures for you guys in the community group as well. It's a very stressful event. And she asked if we could come there to help keep all the farm animals and the alpaca they don't want to be touched. They're animals who do not enjoy human contact. They're not social that way. They're just not. They can be very friendly, and they will share space with you, but don't touch them. And so for them to be sheared is a very stressful event. And I'll let you look that up yourself if you want to see what the process is, because it's fast, but it's not pretty, and they have to be literally manhandled. So 3 of us went on Saturday. 2 of the people who are in this group joined me here in Colorado, and we went out to the sanctuary and spent the afternoon with the animals. And it was amazing. And I just want to thank you, because Christy, who runs the sanctuary, has sent a million thanks for all the help that we gave on Saturday. And the last bit of news before we get to the rest of it is Florida. If you guys want to learn Reiki, if you're interested in animal Reiki and Reiki, it's an in-person class. It's going to be held at an animal sanctuary in Florida, June 22nd and 23rd. It's a full certification, so not everybody is. I know this channel's for everybody. It's for everybody, but I seem to attract a lot of Reiki practitioners here. So if it's something that you want to explore and you want to get together in person, we're going to spend the weekend at the animal sanctuary. Okay, so real quick. Oh, it is Logan's dad. Okay. All right. Cool. Good. Logan 1, 2, 3. All right. I gotcha. I'm going to do a real quick review of the comments here. Starting a new job at a woo-woo store tomorrow. And okay. I'm not 100% sure. My extra time is getting smaller. I'm not sure what you were saying would be great, but probably another video during the week, which is what I'm thinking. Love to take that class. All right. So I'm thinking that's the animal communication class. In the past 4 months, I've been purchasing all things strawberry and strawberry quartz crystals. Isn't that interesting? I mean, really, that is what, and you know what? Her nose. That's what I thought of when I saw this. She has the most perfect pink, cute nose. And that's what I thought of when I saw that. I'm thinking I'm not the norm because I can blank my brain with no problem. Also fall asleep as soon as my head hits the pillow. Well, it took me a while to practice to get that down, to let go of all that stuff. But I think that you're not the norm. I think that most of us have so many external stressors that it makes it difficult for us to meditate and to fall asleep. And there are some tricks. There are some things to help us get rid of that. And I think one of the reasons that animals want us to connect with them and want to connect with us is because they want to teach us how to let go of that stuff. There's a lot that they want to teach us. So jealous. Okay. Spirit Healing. I don't know who you are, but if you're in Florida, the animal scent. Let me make some notes about that too. I want to really start becoming more active on our community page, and I will post the details about that too. Just making myself a little note here. The sanctuary is a little bit, it's outside, it's on the outskirts of West Palm Beach Gardens. So that's on the east coast of Florida. Okay, so let's talk about the reasons that our animals want to connect with us. It is, hang on a second. There we go. I wanted to make sure I thought I had Strawberry's notes here. But they're behind it. Okay, there's a couple reasons. I came up with quite a few reasons that they want to connect with us. Hang on, Bear, I got to close this. The sun is coming through here again. Blinding me. Okay, I think we'll be good now. Okay, we're back. Our animal companions, when they cross to the other side, there is no break for them. We are taught to think of death in a certain way, and there are a lot of misguided ways of thinking about what happens, not only when animals cross, but when people cross. And it all has to do with us just being completely human. And I also chalk a lot of it up to Hollywood and to movies and television shows and all that kind of thing. What they have shown me is there is, for animals in particular, there's no break whatsoever. When they leave their physical bodies, they transition out of their physical body and are immediately, as long the time that it takes me to say the word instantaneous is longer than it takes for them to transition. They are like that. It's done. I have a couple stories to share, and I don't want to share names, so I'm going to be just using like anonymous names, or I just won't use any name at all. But there was a beautiful doggie who I was working with on Friday during this little doggie's transition. And while we were all together, when the transition actually happened, it was so fast. We actually knew that it happened before the veterinarian said it was all over. We just felt it right away. It's that crossing is immediate. They don't linger. They don't get stuck between worlds. They immediately go to the non-physical. If anyone's ever heard of, I take that term from Abraham Hicks. If anyone's ever heard of Abraham Hicks and Esther Hicks, she uses the term physical and non-physical because there's no way really to describe. We call it the Rainbow Bridge. We say the other side, across the veil. None of that does justice to where they are. Their energy simply shifts. It shifts from physical to non-physical, and it's immediate. So they immediately go to non-physical, and they want us to know that. So the reasons that I've come up with, and I would love to hear your comments as we do this. Thank you, Jackie. I really appreciate that. And Jen has been to the sanctuary in Florida. Okay, I digress. I have to remind myself, like, to put a little barrier over there. It's funny that when I watch this video, it looks like I'm pointing the wrong direction, but whatever. The first reason is because they miss us. Now, I've had this question asked of me, and I'm actually kind of shifting my answer after I had a beautiful reading with another doggie that really gave me some insight into this. It's not so much that they miss us because they're still with us. They're right with us. Their energy has simply shifted from one form to another. They are in that energetic field that surrounds us now. That I've been doing a lot of studying about plasma because I'm intrigued about this energetic field. I really want to understand it more and know what it feels like to be in that energetic field. So anyway, if there's 4 kinds of matter, and the most invisible kind is plasma, it's the energy field that surrounds us. That's kind of the research that I've been doing. They have transitioned over to that energetic field. And when they're in non-physical, They remember what it was like to be physical. They remember the things they enjoyed. They remember the foods they ate. They remember the cuddles. They remember the walks. They remember the swim. They remember the brushing. They remember all of it. They remember all of it. And in some cases, they really do miss it. So the beautiful animal, the beautiful doggie that I did the reading for, this has got to be 2 weeks ago now, continues to come through for his human companion, his papa. And what it comes through as, this dog loved to run through the woods. Now, I didn't know, it's actually easier for me if I know very little about the animal that I'm working with. After talking with their human, I discovered that he loved the woods, and I had a really strong sense of pine needles, of walking through the woods, of the shadows of the trees. I just got a sense of walking through the woods and the scent and the aroma and the smell of the ground in the forest. And when I talked to his human companion, he said he loved that. And so every morning I go out and walk in the woods to remember him. And we realized that this dog was actually viewing things through the eyes of his human companion, smelling things, viewing things. That's how I was picking up that scent. Every morning when his human went outside, his beautiful dog was literally there with him. Like I feel Lucy in my body, he feels his dog with him, enjoying the scent, enjoying the walk through the woods, enjoying the pines. And then the oddest thing happened. I had the sense during the reading, things just pop up every once in a while. During the reading, I had a sense of all things, a fighter jet, like the sound of a fighter jet. And that's, so I just shared that. I'm like, for whatever reason, I had the sound of a fighter jet. And he said, we were driving in the car and I thought there was something wrong with my truck, because when I had to pull over because the noise was so great. And when we got out of the truck, realized that there was a fighter jet overhead. So what that told me again is that this dog was experiencing life here on earth through his human companions. So sometimes they miss their physical body, and that's why they want to connect with us, and that's why they want to communicate with us. And it did one more thing. It validated for his human companion that he was still there. There was no way, of all things, a fighter jet. It validates. So I might be able to say, okay, he enjoyed the smell of a pine, and dogs must sometimes like to run through the woods. But where does the fighter jet come in from? So it validated for this person that their dog was still there. What else do they like to do? I'm going to keep track of my time as well. As you guys can tell, I love to tell stories, and sometimes I digress. And when I see the comments scroll, I wish there was a way for me to block that. But sometimes they have unfinished business. What does that mean? Unfinished business, it's not like a ghost, not like the way that it's portrayed in movies and television, where there's some, show me the insurance policy, or they were murdered and they've got to go, discover who hurt them. It's unfinished business with us. I often say this, that I feel deeply that one of the reasons they come into our life is to experience physical life. They are our guardians, our guides, our spirit guides, our soulmates. And when they come through, when they come to us in their little animal form, it's because they want to experience life physically. They want to know what it is we're going through. Our animal companions who share our home are so in tune with us that they often mirror everything. They mirror our stress. They mirror our illness. They mirror our happiness. They mirror our love. They mirror sometimes the love of the same foods. They are experiencing life with us, so that when they transition and go to the other side, for lack of a better word, when they transition to the non-physical, they are then better able to understand the things that we're going through. Now, I know that this is probably not going to be popular, but I don't know if I just connect the dots. Even illnesses such as cancer, I just have a sense that our animal companions get illnesses such as cancer, kidney disease, pancreatitis, so that they can help us when they transition to the other side. They are better able to help us with our own health, to help us be better stewards of our own bodies, and to help us be better stewards for animals in the future, for other animals, because we have a deeper understanding of the things that they had to go through and how we would manage their health when other animals come into our life. So that's why I think it's unfinished business. They want to let us know that they made it across safely, because they always do. They always do. And it's instantaneous. And they also they want to be able to tell us things. They want to be able to show us things. So that's unfinished business. Which leads me to the guardian angel piece, that they are there to guide and protect and reassure us. And they know things just like people who cross to the other side. They have access to the universal mind. I will not, whatever your religious beliefs may be, whatever your spiritual beliefs may be, my personal spiritual beliefs are about a universal mind that we are all connected to, that we have access to, but that we have separated ourselves from. And our animal companions have been here sharing this life. And when they get to the other side, they have access to that same beautiful universal mind. And they can then share with us information that helps us live a better life here on Earth. We have come here to be the Iron Man of the universe. We are here in one of the most difficult places in the universe to thrive. But it's because we have super abilities. We come here and experience things that are so, I don't have the words for it. Like other parts of the universe don't go through what we go through here on Earth. And so it can be like, there could be a lot of hard stuff here, but that's why I call it the Iron Man. Because we are literally in the Iron Man race of the universe, and our animal companions become like coaches and mentors. And if we can learn to quiet our mind and meditate and receive these messages, we can get insights that help us live our best life. I know that there are things that there are times when I come across a problem. And in the past, it might have been a problem. Let's just say this was 20 years ago. If a problem arose, I might have got down on my knees, folded my hands, and begged for help from God. My prayer would have been a begging prayer. And now animals have taught me to be a partner. They've taught me to be a partner with God, the universe, Allah, Buddha, spirit, whatever you want to call it. They have taught me that this is a beautiful existence that I have the ability to impact, that I'm not just some pawn who's being moved around a chessboard with no input, that I can actually be an active part of creating my life here on Earth. So I think that they are there to help guide us, to help protect us from ourselves sometimes, and to offer reassurance that everything always works out. All is well. It's one of the main fundamental tenets of my Reiki practice is to share with our animal companions that all is well. Everything is perfect just the way it is. And it's like they're kind of repeating that back to me. Don't forget, all is well. Everything is perfect just the way it is. It all works out. So they are guardian angels to guide and protect us. So before I continue moving on, I'm just going to check comments real quick. Human and animals do transition quickly. Okay. Even when we think they don't, even if we think that they are lingering or that for some reason they're in pain, or that they go quickly. There's no break. There's no suffering. There's no suffering when it comes to the actual time of transition. Had a bad wreck. As soon as I left my body. I realized I was dead. Oh, Becky, how interesting. How interesting. Near-death experiences. Cats go through this all the time. Cats, that's why they say that cats have 9 lives, because cats go through NDEs all the time. And they don't need somebody to send them back. They come back willingly, again and again and again. And I tell the story of the kitty cat who was in my arms at the funeral home, who came back to life in my arms. And I have witnesses to show, Yeah, anyway, NDEs happen to all things, and some animals choose to go, some animals choose to come back, and people too. And there's always a lesson to learn from NDEs. And there's a lot of YouTube channels out there right now that do interviews with people who have survived near-death experiences and chosen to come back. So if anybody is interested in exploring that, I find it fascinating. I'll leave it to you to decide. Furballs passed, gasping 4 last breaths. Seemed like it took forever to pass. Okay, so let me just tell you guys, because I do this. I work with a veterinarian who does assist transition in home. So I go, it's usually with my Reiki clients, so I've got a relationship with them. Animals, when their soul leaves their body immediately, but their little body continues to have electrical reactions, and it could be a 3 or 4 breaths. And some animals continue to move. And sometimes when they get their little sleepy medicine, their eyes don't close. And they will take, even after their soul has left their body, 3 or 4 breaths that make it seem as if that they're still there, but it's just their body. That's all it is just their body. So you don't have to worry that your animal has ever suffered. It doesn't happen. Okay, so you guys are chit-chatting. That's awesome. I love you guys. Go right ahead. Oh, Erin, how are ya? So you guys, I love that you support each other. It's wonderful to support each other in the comments. So share as much as you like. Okay. And the body has to close down. Yep, absolutely. The body definitely has to close down. Okay. So we'll move on from that topic. What else do they want? Why else do they want to connect with us? Because they have something to prove. That was what I put in the little newsletter. They have something to prove. And what do they have to prove? That we don't die, that there's no such thing as death. They want to prove it to us. That's why they want to connect with us more than we want to connect with them, because we have these old, outdated, deeply ingrained culturally, socially, religiously, educationally built into us that tell us that death is horrible, that the only things certain are death and taxes, whatever that saying goes. And we're taught to fear it. We are taught to fear it when it's not anything to be feared. They want to prove to us that there is afterlife, that it's not even afterlife. It is continued life. Like, it's like this life here is the break in our existence. Our existence is really out there in the ether somewhere. And there's nothing for us to fear at all. And when we get to cross, we'll be able to experience the same things that our animals are trying to show us. So I think that more than anything, they're trying to prove to us that there is nothing to fear about death, and that existence continues, and they will show us and prove to us that their existence continues. Quick comments. Lost Maggie in September. Alexis, my heart is with all of you who have lost an animal companion. Even though I no longer like to use the word lost, my heart is with you 100%. I've been down the road. My beautiful 3 seniors, everybody knows the story of Lucy, Jack, and Winston, and Lucy and Winston within 1 week of each other. I empathize with all of your feelings, but want you to know more than anything that your animal companion would love for you to heal. And that's the last reason that I want to talk. Well, there's maybe 2 more reasons, but their love for us is so strong. It does not die. Love cannot die. They love us so much. They would never, for whatever reason, and I haven't nailed down all the reasons why their lives are so short. I have some thoughts about why their lives are so short, but they came here filled with the most unconditional love. It's the loss of the unconditional love that we often feel, the loss of their companionship, the loss of their body right with us, but we don't ever really lose them. They are still right here, and they want to prove it to us. They want to show us that love trumps everything. Love trumps everything. There is nothing stronger. There is nothing more powerful. There is nothing that gets in the way, that can beat down, there's nothing. There's nothing but love. And they love us so much. They want to show us that we are still loved. They want us to know that their love extends far beyond a physical body. And it's the deepest, purest, most true love of all. Caroline, I think it's Caroline or Carolyn, I'm not 100% sure. Caroline mentioned that Strawberry is her soulmate. I think we all know what that feels like. Soulmates. And the gender of the pet does not matter. I have Lucy, Jack, and Winston. Winston was truly my soulmate. In the shortest period of time, he was only with me for 2.5 years. My 100% soulmate, my little snuffleupagus is what I would call him, because he had a little snort. So I understand, but it is their love that they want to prove. That they want to prove to us that we still have that love. And then there's one other thing that I wanted to bring up, and it's because I do like to go down the spiritual rabbit hole. It's always fascinated me, things about psychics and telecommunication and mediumship and all those things always really, clairvoyance, all that stuff intrigued me since I was a little girl. And my father supported it. My father was right with me. He encouraged my interest in it, even though it wasn't encouraged that I ever be it, even though I am now. So, Daddy, here we go. So whatever you want to share too. My dad is also a lover of all the dogs. For anybody who wants to know, I think that the other side, I think that across the veil, whatever we want to call it, is so magically wonderful. My father loves dogs, loves present tense, loves dogs of all kinds. I know that my 3 dogs are with him right now, and I know that there's so many more. He fell in love with, just like me, fell in love with every dog he ever met, and that includes in heaven. So for anybody who thinks that there is nobody there, what if my animal companion is lonely? What if there's nobody there to meet them? Well, I think my father is an angel like no other angel, and maybe he's a combination of angels that is there to greet every dog who crosses. And I'm sure that cats have the same thing. I just happen to be talking about my daddy. The one other reason that I want to talk about, and then we'll get into the reading for Strawberry, is something that I just call, I don't have necessarily the right words for it, but spiritual evolution. I think our animals are on a spiritual journey just like us. So we come together in this group, and we sometimes go down the rabbit hole. And on Friday mornings in the Wild Mystics, we go way down the rabbit hole. And it's all about exploring our own spirituality and our connection and interconnection to everything else in the whole universe. And I think that animals may be on a similar journey, that they are on. I know for certain that every single animal has preferences and choices. A soul, is a sentient being, has, well, the buzzword these days is agency, which is the ability to act on their own preferences and choices. And I think that they are on the same kind of spiritual journey that we are. And that often that's why they reincarnate, because they want to come back and have a do-over, or they want to re-experience, or they experience something different. I know I mentioned this before. I can't wait to cross and see if I am able to come back like as an eagle. I think that would be so cool. And I think that they are on the same kind of spiritual, engaged in the same kind of spiritual evolution as us. They just don't have a Facebook group or a YouTube group or a Zoom call to talk about it with each other. But I think that they're on the same kind of spiritual journey, and they're practicing their own spiritual evolution by being able to reach through the veil, across the veil, through all of the energetics, showing us that our energy is still connected. And that's the other reason why I think that they connect with us. Okay. Okay, so I will continue to let you guys chit chat. Haven't been able to get another dog. Someday I will. Oh, yeah, Kathy, I've gotten a message before that that our animal companions want us to let other animals into their life. Not only because, like Gypsy, right? I've explained this before. Gypsy seems to have My dog right now is a blind rescue whose personality has changed over the 4 years that she's been with me. She has almost evolved into this beautiful eclectic mix of the energy that was all my other dogs. Her personality has changed so much. And there are some days when she's so much like one, the other, or all of them together. And I didn't think that I was going to be bringing another dog into my home anytime soon. And then, of course, sometimes they have their own thoughts of their own, and Gypsy showed up for me in a way that was completely unexpected. So I hope you would be open to the possibility, because I think that part of what they want us to learn is how to be better pet parents in the future, how to be a better caretaker, and pet owner is no longer, it's not my vocabulary anymore. We can't own any animal, but they can be partners, companions, trusted companions and partners, because boy, can they keep secrets, right? They know everything. Our animal companions know everything there is to know about us. And that I also learned from that beautiful doggie who liked to hike in the woods and saw the little fighter jet. Anywho, okay. Do I have one-on-one sessions? Yes, I do have one-on-one sessions. I had only opened it up to the members group, but now it's time to bring that public. So I will add that to my list of things to do this week. I do private sessions, private one-to-one sessions. We do them via Zoom, and I can explain the process to you, but let me post the details for the whole community, so that now we can start to book those as well. I had not opened myself up to booking them, only because I have been full-time nannying for my beautiful granddaughter, 6 months old, and that's about to come, that my schedule's about to come wide open. So I will post that for the whole community. I just said that my little Fresca, she took on all 4 girls' personalities, right? Fresca, I'm right with you. So if anybody else has noticed that with their animals, or if you have got an animal companion sharing your life right now, and you've also had an animal companion that has crossed to the other side, watch for those personality changes, those little quirks, they're little quirks, silly little things that Gypsy was not ever a foodie. And somehow she's become, I see Lucy in her eyes. Lucy always got a look in her eyes when it involved food, total foodie. Gypsy has taken on that same, it's a facial expression. I can't describe it. The drooling that goes along with that facial expression. The way that she stretches, that only Jack stretched. I've never seen a dog stretch the way that Jack stretched. And now Gypsy does the same thing. And her personality, again, it has evolved. So yes, Mel, I believe, keep your eyes out, guys, to see if there's any personality shifts in your current animal companions that mirror back to you things that were your animal companion, because that is one of the ways they can get through. Now, we've talked about this before, and I'm sure we'll talk about it again. I wanted to go over tonight the reasons why our animal companions want to connect with us. But then there are the ways that they do. How do they go about it? We've talked about signs in nature. I've got more to share about that even. Signs in nature, dreams, sounds, using our senses. There are so many ways. There are so many ways that they can come through to us. But I think one of them is through the animal companions that continue to share our life. Okay, let's do our little reading for Strawberry. Judy. Okay, all right. So JD, I wasn't sure. Okay, Judy, got it. Nice to have you here as well. I welcome anybody. If you have family members and friends, this is a great place to come hang out on a Monday evening or in the middle of the night. If you're Caroline, who's waiting patiently to get back to bed. So let me tell you what came through. And I give this to you when I do these little readings. I do them unfiltered, which means that some of the things may make sense. Some of the things may make no sense. Some of the things that may come to you in a week from now. And I would welcome you letting me know one way or the other things that make sense or don't make sense, because it helps me. It helps me understand how close we get. Okay, so this is what I got, and I try to ask for a little bit of evidence. I always ask for evidence, even though sometimes I get a sense of eye rolls, like if there's such a thing as a spiritual eye roll, that they're sick of having to prove themselves to us. But I do ask for something that validates for the human companion that who we're really connecting with is your animal. So that pink little nose, and that's why I decided to have this little heart here with me, this little carnelian heart. Um, that pink little nose, perfect. When I said in the in the newsletter about Strawberry that she was the prettiest cat, I'm telling you, pretty, a beautiful cat. The beautiful gray and white and that perfect pink nose, just absolutely beautiful. The pinkest little nose, and I immediately got a sense of chasing feathers. Now I don't know if Strawberry was an indoor or an outdoor cat, but the things that she gave to me were mostly about outdoors. I just had a sense of her chasing, that she wasn't necessarily a mouser, but chased birds. And I got a sense of chasing feathers. That was the absolute visual that I got was chasing feathers. Um, as if she had caught a bird and then the feathers were flying everywhere. And then dried flowers, a vase full of old dried flowers. That's the visual that I got. And was there something about them that she wanted to play with, that she liked? I already brought up the mushrooms. So Caroline, I don't know if that means anything, but those little mushrooms and the color, there's something about the color, the burnt orange color. It's not strawberry. It's not a strawberry color, but there's something about that burnt orange red color that was coming through. It's been about 4 months. So February is when Strawberry crossed over. To her, no time at all. No time whatsoever. She feels that she's not ever left. It's an odd thing to describe when there's no sense of time. It's like past, present, and future all together in one moment. Okay, so what else do we have here? Now, the name Strawberry brought to mind a couple of things. Right away, it's just natural because of the word strawberry, and it had nothing to do with the fruit, but strawberry wine came to mind for me. Wine definitely came to mind, and of course, strawberry fields. But here's where the word strawberry, she says it, I guess it would be with a British accent. Like, I know you're from the UK, and I have some really strong ties to the UK. I've been there a couple of times, and I have a couple of very dear friends who are from both Scotland and England, and both of them actually have strong connections to cats. But anyway, what she pronounces it is strawberry, like strawberry. I can't even use how I feel it in my mind, but it was like a correction, like it's not strawberry, it's strawberry. Regal, I wrote down the word regal and something about black and white stripes. A blanket, a shirt, something that was black and white striped. I got outdoors. Did she enjoy the outdoors? I would really love to know. Caroline may have even fallen asleep, and I'm so sorry because I should have done her reading first so that she could get back to bed. To wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning is a little tough. That she enjoyed the outdoors, but she was very clean, and persnickety is the word that I wrote down. That she enjoyed being outdoors, an outdoor cat, an indoor cat, and an outdoor cat in an indoor cat's body. I got a sense that she wanted to be very clean, and more than cats normally clean themselves, but outdoor cats can sometimes get, I don't know, burrs, like those things that get stuck in their hair, and she did not like that one bit. And then I asked her, I tried to get a sense of, I had a dream of her chasing feathers. Oh, good. Oh, Caroline. Yay. I'm glad you're here. Loved watching the birds, loved the outdoors, but was an indoor cat. But you would go out with her. Okay. So I did get a sense of outdoor. Interesting that's the way she put it to me, was outdoors, but an outdoor cat in an indoor cat's body, is what came through. So persnickety, didn't like to be outside because of that. She would get things in her and she didn't want them in her. Now, I tried to get a sense of why she crossed. I often ask that question. I ask, what happened? Can you show me what happened? Very few animals will give me that information just so we understand. And I'm getting a sense more and more that they don't, it's not that they don't remember, but it has no meaning for them. It has no meaning about how they cross. So I often don't get that. But what I got was uh, a blockage in her ears. I don't know if she was deaf. It wasn't like that, but it was like if we were wearing a pair of noise canceling headphones. That's how I felt. That was the sound that I got, a very hollow sound. Like she was, if we would have to hear somebody talking to us underwater, that's also how I would describe it. And I saw a very bright light shining under her face. Was always clean and very clean. That's funny. She persnickety. A very bright light shining in her face. And I wasn't at a veterinary office, but I got a sense of light in the eyes. So very bright light in the eyes. And a very bright star. One of the signs that she sends you routinely is a star that's brighter than others. And if you look up at the sky and look at the stars, there's going to be one that sticks out to you. She makes it very bright, and it's just going to be very obvious that is her star, and she's sending you that star. Pearly whites. Not 100% sure what that's all about. Hang on a quick second. I hear my hubby coming in. Going to close the door. My husband is not a believer. I think he secretly thinks that I've lost my mind. Okay. Pearly whites is what came through. And it wasn't about her teeth. It was about Mama's teeth. And I couldn't get too much more than that. But something about your pearly whites, Mama. And are you supposed to ask somebody about your teeth? Are you supposed to ask for help? To be honest, I could be a little needy. Oh, that was the next thing that she said to me. That there were times when she might have done some meowing, and her phrase was, "To be honest." To be honest, I could be a little needy. And then I had a sense of her salivating, almost drooling. I don't think cats do that. That's come to me once before. This sensation of salivating and drooling, and I just don't think that cats do that. I don't know where in the UK that you are, but I did get a sense of the sea. So again, unfiltered, I got a sense of the sea. Listen to this message. What did I mean when I wrote that? Listen to this message. We do not leave. A plane of existence. She is right here. Okay, so this is where and sometimes when I write these things down, I just write what comes through, and I have to go back and remember what I was writing. Listen to this message. I think she means listen to what we were talking about tonight in the video, that she wants to come back to you for a reason. And her reason is not proof. Her reason is because you're doubting something. She needs to show you something. She needs to help you with something. And that all you need to do, she is right here in a different plane of existence. She's right here. But what do you need to know? There's something you need to know. You just ask her the question. Ask her the question, and she will give you the answer. And that part, it's just a little vague for me. It doesn't come through any more clear than that. So I don't know if that's something that means anything to you. She had fluid around her heart and couldn't breathe when her heart stopped. She was needy when it suited her. She probably knows if the dentist next week. And I'm terrified. Oh my gosh. So you know what? I did not want to say. This is why I don't filter messages. If I'd have just said what I intended to say, and that it was that if you need help going to the dentist, you're supposed to ask somebody to help you. If you are afraid of going to the dentist, so pearly whites, I wrote down pearly whites, her mama's pearly whites, and that you're supposed to ask for help. So if there's something that you're afraid of, this is loud and clear. If there's something that you're afraid of, you should ask for help. There's somebody who will be happy to help you. work through that and to be able to get yourself to the dentist. I totally get that loud and clear. So no reason to be terrified. And here's the other thing why you don't have to be terrified, because she's going to be right there with you. She is going to be right there with you. All you have to do is hold her in your mind as you are, whatever is getting done. Just think of her. Think of her the whole time. Imagine her sitting in your lap, purring, doing her thing. And you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. She didn't give me a sense of the fluid around the heart. Again, they don't often share that. Sometimes cats in particular give me a sensation of when there's something going on with their digestive system. They'll give me a physical sensation. This one, the only physical sensation I got was, as I mentioned, as if I was wearing a noise canceling headphones. That's the sound in her ears as well. Maybe she could hear her own heartbeat beating so much, but so that's what we got from the beautiful strawberry. And let's see if there's anything else here that I want to. Kim says, my whole family thinks I'm crazy with the spiritual stuff, but I don't care. And neither do I anymore. I don't care. And the interesting thing is that most of my family does not. I mean, even the ones who might secretly think that I've gone around the bend, I think they see some of the things that we're doing. And I think that they're beginning also, I think, yeah, this whole spiritual evolution thing of everybody kind of recognizing a shift in spirituality and a shift in understanding of our role in the universe. There's a whole lot more going on here. We just happen to be a small piece of it where the animals are coming through to help us. I'm not going to go down that road for right now. Okay. All right, guys. My husband heard you and he thinks you lost your mind too. It's okay. It's totally cool. I had my very best friend called me wackadoodle, and I take it as a compliment. Cat's drool is a sign of affection. I did not know that. When at the dentist having a deep cleaning, Sadie jumped on me and bumped my chin. I almost hooted. Oh my goodness. Okay. So there's some dental stuff going on here. I'm glad, Caroline. Thank you for letting me share some and spend some time with the beautiful strawberry. And the sun's beginning to come out here bright again. We did have a little bit of cloudy overcast, and how interesting. My husband heard you, and it's blocked. I can't read the comment. Okay, but that's okay. Oh. And still, my husband heard you and still loves you. Oh, good. Yeah. It's okay. It's totally fine, because I think little by little, one person at a time, we'll have a whole bunch of converts here who understand that our animals are more than just pets in our home, and that they're in our lives for a reason, and that they have messages to share. And I'm happy to share them. All right, my friends. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you so much. I look forward to staying in touch, where I'm going to continue to build out the community, and we are going to make this a wonderful, beautiful thing for anybody who needs assistance, healing, overcoming the grief, managing the grief, coping, whatever words we want to use. We're here to support each other. We're here to help each other heal. And until next week, may animals light your way. Good night, everybody. You're welcome, guys. Have a good evening.